Guys, so I'm going to show you a little hip mobility flow. This is a much longer sequence. I could stay in this sequence for probably at least an hour per side, more likely. So there's a lot more to it and a lot of potential and options that you can put in. But today we're just going to look at a basic version of your hip flow. So I'm starting out in what I would call a pinwheel mermaid position. Okay, my legs are at a 90-degree angle, so my shins are making this perpendicular shape, just a little bit more comfortable, and I'm trying to bring some weight down into my higher hip, back leg hip. If that's uncomfortable, if you feel any tweakiness in your knee, you want to elevate your other hip. Okay, not the one that's higher, elevate the lower one so that the higher one can drop down. From here, I'm going to start nice and tall and just moving my hip, nothing else, not my chest, not my other leg. I'm going to pick my back hip up, push it forward, which is rolling it in, and then sit it back and down. Try to shift your weight over that hip as you sit it down. I'm going to go again, up and down for about 10 times. Okay, after I am done with those, I'm going to add on to that movement. So I pick my hip up, keep the chest tall over the pelvis, try not to lean it out to the side, and twist your chest into a little bit of a back bend. Leading from my hip, I'm going to sit my hip back and down, and then twist over my other leg and round. So we're going into flexion and extension with a little rotation at the hip. And again, about 8 to 10 times of these. Now, if you are really tight, you're going to lean forward some. Just do the best you can to sit as upright as possible. I am using my hands to help. After we do those, we're going to go into a little quad stretch. So my back leg needs to orient more in front of my hip, in front of its own hip as much as possible. Okay, you can keep your back elbows elevated, that's fine. I'm flexible enough that I can put them down. So if you can do that, then you go there. I'm going to move the hip that I've been working with, same way we started with, push it forward and then pull it back. And all of that is going to bring a little bit more stretch into that thigh. Again, about 8 to 10 times. You might not get a lot of movement there, but even if you just get a little bit to start, good for you. Make sure this knee doesn't come up. It's going to stay down the whole time. When you've done those on your right leg, I'm going to flip it over and repeat them on your left. I hope you guys enjoyed.